This review is of the Session Cube XL, which is the DJ table that you see set up here. Is it for you? Is it right for your home? You're going to find out here. If you enjoy this, please do like, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff so we can keep bringing you more videos like this. Okay, so this is a home-centered kind of piece of equipment. You see us reviewing a lot of stuff at Digital DJ Tips. We have a big studio with a big bench in it and stuff, but that would look out of place in your typical living room, right? You want to set your DJ gear up in your living room, you need something that's a little bit more stylish and that's maybe designed more for that home kind of environment. But I can see this equally being used in trendy small bars and places like that. So you can see immediately that it's got a high gloss finish. It's quite stunning. It also comes with an LED light pack, which I have not dared stick onto the underside of this yet, but when I do, we'll be able to light this up all kinds of colours. It's got a remote control on it as well, so I'm looking forward to playing around with that. So you can light this thing as well and give it a bit of a sheen, but its high gloss black finish is really nice. It looks really good in my living room anyway. And of course you can see the curves of it. They just give it a very stylish appearance. So the other clever thing about this is how it looks like a pretty solid piece of furniture, doesn't it? But actually it's really easy to assemble. Comes in two boxes. You get the one box with the two legs in and another box with the top in, and you just put them together. There's a couple of poles that go through and they supply the tool, and that's it. It takes hardly any time at all. Less than 10 minutes to get the whole thing set up. You're going to spend a little bit more time concealing the cables, because considering this is a very open plan, you'll see that there's no cables on show at all. And that's really cleverly done, because underneath the DJ unit there is a hatch, and inside the hatch you can get into the hollow interior of the top, and in there's plenty of room for an extension cable, for an adapter to plug everything in. And then on the top of the unit there are holes which you can then feed your cables through, so that everything is hidden and everything's out of view. So you can see the way I've set this up here, I've actually done this backwards. This has been set up the way that they intend it to be, is you stood there. But the reason I've done that is that the four holes which you use to screw on the optional laptop platform, which is a really lovely looking glass and aluminium platform that screws on, allow you to put a laptop on. Because of course, look at this, I'm using a standalone unit that doesn't need a laptop, but where would you put your laptop in a setup like this? So they've got that unit. That needs to be screwed on, and the four holes that you screw that onto are visible. They would be visible if I had this round the other way, but frankly it doesn't make any difference at all which way round you have the unit. And in fact I quite like it with the logo on the front there showing the name of the brand out to the room. So the cable tidying is really clever. Underneath the main unit there's room for all your cables, and then there's an easy access into the hollow part inside the legs as well. And then at the very bottom of the legs, there is a little hole in all four corners where you can feed out the single lead that needs to go in to power everything. So as you can see from the way I've got this set up here, you just can't see the power. The power is actually down here, feeding through the leg there, and it's all kept tidy. And I really like that. I think that's really nice. So a couple of downsides to this. There's nowhere to put your headphones. There's no hoop for your headphones. Quite often there's a little loop or a little peg where you can hang your headphones. So I'd look to maybe use one of those laptop screw holes here to just put a little hook in. I'll go and get to the hardware store and see if I can find something there to hook the headphones on. Otherwise they're just kind of hanging around. And because it's open plan, this isn't really a downside of it. It's just the way this kind of desk is. Because it's open plan and it looks airy and nice. You know, if you have got stuff, if you have got accessories and amplifiers, some records or whatever that you want to have nearby, you're going to have to think of another place to put those, because if you have them all down on the floor here, it's obviously going to look messy. Whereas some cabinets, including other ones from this company, have got a facade on the front there, and that means that you've got room underneath to kind of stuff all your stuff. But I really like this open look. I think it's pretty striking and stylish. And for the price, €499, it's a reasonable outlay, but once you've spent all the money on the gear, especially if you're trying to persuade family to let you set your decks up in the living room, and let's face it, who wouldn't want to do that? Then having a really nice piece of furniture like this to do it on might be just the thing that sways it. So that is the glorious Session Cube XL system for setting up your DJ gear at home or in small bars and the like. So if you've enjoyed this review, please do like, follow, subscribe. You can get the full written version of this by clicking the link underneath, where we'll have the prices of not only the main unit but the accessories and stuff as well. And I'll see you again in another review very soon. Now get good, get out there, and make the moment.